Hey, what is going on, crypto people? What the world? Flare Networks, Hugo Philion reveals Flare Networks 2.0. Uh, yeah, it's some promising stuff going on over there, Flare Networks. I'm loving these protocol managed wallets and that concept behind it with the TEEs. I'm excited for the future, man. I'm telling you, I'm excited for the future that is Flare Networks. I'm excited for that future because it speaks to true decentralization, true scalability, and true freaking security, right? That's what it's about right now. And we could just add some DeFi in there, level up the game for regular retail, not just institutions, but regular retail. Talking about life changing, game changing, but life changing stuff here. So really, really excited about that. We can't wait to get into that video. Shout out to my guys over at Flare Forward. They released the full interview in the wee hours of the morning this morning, I think like 8 a.m. Central Time. So yeah, I listened to like 20, 25 minutes of it. We'll listen to it together as well. And we're going to go over some stuff on Crypto X. No need to go over the market, you know. No need to go over the CoinGecko. The market's just doing what the market does. What's going on, So Flow? Is that So Flow Digital? What's going on, my friend? Appreciate you checking in. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. Yeah, Flare Networks 2.0 reveal. Let me go and get into that video. And nice interview from Whale 589 and Steve and Ace Flair on. They got a YouTube channel as well. You guys should follow that. I believe they put this interview on their YouTube channel as well. Flair Forward, one word, capital F, Flair and Forward. I believe it's one word. Yeah, good stuff. Really, really good stuff. So looking forward to going over that. What's going on, brother Crypto? CJ, my man, how's it going? Life is great, bro. Life is great, brother Crypto. How are you? So we're gonna get into that. Cover some stuff on X again. Do me a favor, hit the like button on the way in. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream, and we're gonna get into some very, very interesting stuff here today. Yeah. So my favorite part thus far, again, I'm only 20 to 25 minutes into it, maybe longer. Let's see how far have I gotten into this thing. 32 minutes into it. My favorite part was when the DeFi lead at Flare, Thanos, when he spoke about Flare's, kind of stack, the DeFi stack, and how it all came about. That for me, I love DeFi, and I look forward. My main thing is DeFi, leveling up the game for retail, leveling the playing field, if you will. So that was kind of my main part. So I'm 32 minutes in. Um, so I mean it's over an hour and 7 minutes long. So not quite halfway through yet. We're going to get into that. We'll share that as well. Wait for some more people to check in to the stream. I don't know what day of the week it is. I want to say it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. Isn't that crazy? I never know what day of the week it is. Kind of cray cray. Today's hmm hmm. It is Tuesday. Hmm. So, but in any case, a happy Tuesday to each and every one of you. Miss Crypto C said some business money came in. I don't know what's going on with that. So, oh, I guess, yeah, it's coming in tomorrow. So, all right. So, in any case, yeah, let's get into this. Let me get into some X stuff on X here real quick. Let's see what I want to share with you guys. I shared the restaking yield and how that's more sustainable. I think that's massively important to get the big picture for this, this restaking XRP that is going to come. Obviously, we first got to get the staking, but that is going to come. All right, on Flare. So let me share this real quick. Just quick little 30-second video with you guys. I mean, this fasting is tough. I'm hungry right now. Flare Networks put this out. Restaking yield is considered sustainable because it's driven by real utility. It comes from fees paid by DApps and services that use staked assets for security. Rewards are tied to actual usage, creating long-term demand-based incentives. And so the staking service is going to come, the staking is going to come by these AVS, which is actively validated services. And you're going to be staking the XRP to help secure those services over there, and you'll get rewarded in whatever the AVS's token is, right? So I don't know what that's going to look like. It's going to be interesting to see what that is, what these tokens are, who they are, and all that kind of stuff like that, to determine the value of staking your XRP, right? What's the value to doing that, for sure. But I love the option of being able to have some staking. So we're going to see what that's going to look like. But take a listen.
Sustainably provide higher yields. This is one of the rare cases where the yield is actually relatively more sustainable. So it's not the same thing. Okay, you're a lending protocol, you're another lending protocol. I'm going to incentivize you with my token, and therefore people will move to my platform. Well, that plays out only in a very short amount of time, versus if you have like a whole new set of ecosystem participants using your application, your token to give yield through it. That is a more sustainable source of yield, and that's why liquid restaking like EtherFi pays 4.2%, while Lido pays about 3%. And of course, if you can sustainably provide higher yields, you'll be attracting capital. This is one of the rare cases.
So Lido, I guess Lido is just staking, and EtherFi is restaking, and maybe even something like Eigenlayer, I guess would be the restaking as well, restaking of staked ETH. So important to note that. Do I want to share this? Yeah, I'll share this real quick. So macro picture, we like to share the macro view. Dan Tapiero has another interesting post, something to consider, something to ponder if you're on a journey of becoming a sophisticated investor and understanding that there's, the long-term approach is necessary, not just the trader's perspective, but the global macro, the long-term perspective is important. Dan Tapiero here shares, he's the founder and CEO of At10T Fund, big macro guy, right? I admire what President and Trump, Secretary Scott Bessent, and Elon Musk are doing on fiscal policy. But if sentiment keeps falling, it won't matter how sensible is their cause. It won't matter how sensible the cause is. This must be stimulative offset. There must be a stimulative offset. US dollar down is helpful, but the Fed needs to lower the rates. In other words, pay attention to what the Fed is doing. Stay in tune with what they're doing. When will they be, or when will they hint towards and or actually lower these rates? Demand is weakening. Demand weakening offsets the inflation risk. So we thank Dan Tapiero for the global picture. And just on I don't know. Bitcoin has outperformed the S&P 500 over the past 14 years. It's Matt Hogan. We say on the channel all the time, we treat Bitcoin as the savings and all the other digital assets are as investments, right? There's a saving strategy. There's an investment strategy. That's kind of how we do it in the Crypto Seizures home. At 14 years, interesting. Outperform the S&P 500, right? That's not a small thing. That's a big deal, right? If you're looking to save, right? If you're looking to save and invest, right? Save towards investing, right? The reason why we have all these altcoins, in my view, for me, in the Crypto Seizures home, is to get more Bitcoin. Why? Because I'm increasing my savings that outperforms the investing world. I'm increasing my savings in an asset that outperforms the investing world, at least the S&P 500. You understand? Daniel, the CTO of the XRP Ledger, shared this. I'm going to share it again. The reality is that there is no need for auto bridging. Remember, this is one of the things that Monica Long pointed to for XRP. David Schwartz has said this as well. I've challenged both of them on posts publicly. Show me the demand that you guys are creating for the native asset. The reality is this, says Daniel here, Daniel XRP Keller. The reason that there is no need, the reality is that there is no need for auto bridging. I can arm ramp one-to-one if I want to. This only plays into IOUs. We tried, but there is little to no use. Just something important to note. Something important to note. I'm going to cover this dude here. This money GCC guy. Anyhow, let me cover this. Hugo put this post out about Hidden Road and Ripple. I did a video titled the other day, what is up with Ripple? What is up with Ripple? Why is Flare Networks constantly, as of late, posting about Ripple and XRP? Ripple, the company, and XRP. And Hugo and the team is going to be at the Apex, the XRPL Apex 2025 in Singapore, speaking on stage. Hugo put this post out 7 hours ago. Hidden Road is an unbelievably interesting deal. If Ripple pulls off a strong integration between Hidden Road and the XRPL, then honestly, I can't see how the XRPL doesn't eclipse in value almost all other networks. Pretty great position for Flare to be in, as we can enable many additional use cases for XRP, adding to its utility. This dude here, anyway, I'm going to read what this dude had to say here. You're joking, right? See, when you make statements like this, it displays either your naivety in the space, your manipulation tactics to advertise Flare, or just ignorance. Hidden Road is not even in the top 10 of prime brokerage services, let alone the top 20 of standard brokerage services. Other brokerage services are testing and exploring some other network here he's talking about, in order to keep derivatives private for institutional transactions. Private for institutions? Who is the king of that? In any case, because it's privacy that matters to institutions at the end of the day. Talking about Ripple here. Anyway, this play by Ripple is smart and puts more profitable assets on the book in the event FIT 21 passes and they have to stop the sale of XRP for profit. That's just dumb. Why would they have to stop the sale of XRP because of FIT 21? It's just another dumb thing. The other dumb thing is he talking about privacy. And he's talking about Ripple, who does private ledgers all the time. They led that for institutions. So just more dumb stuff. I should have pointed that out as well. In order for Ripple to eclipse all other networks, and by the way, he didn't say all other networks. He said almost all other networks, money GCC. You need to get the liquidity of JP Morgan and Credit Suisse and Charles Schwab, Citigroup, blah, blah, blah. Hidden Road is an ant, just compared. Hidden Road is an ant, just compared to the boot of JPM alone. Study the liquidity in these major prime brokers before making these ridiculous statements. Below is a start for everyone to learn the raking and liquidity of brokerages around the world. Like, what is this dude talking? Anyway, this is what I said. What are you talking about, bro? Comparing Hidden Road to JP Morgan? JP Morgan. Way to make a point. Taking a company that has been around since 1871 and comparing it to one that just got started in 2018. Yeah, that's fair. Even its prime broker division has nearly a decade head start. It got started like in 2009. By the way, he said value on the network. Value on the network. What other network has $3 trillion in value on it? Remember, they acquired this Hidden Road. They own it. The goal is over a period of time to get that $3 trillion on chain, on the XRPL. What other network has $3 trillion on chain? I'll wait. And of course, the genius didn't respond. Like, what is this? And he's out here throwing shade, talking about ignorance and manipulation. What are you talking about, bro? Privacy. He's speaking about Ripple and privacy. Ripple, who came up with this whole idea of these private ledgers? Who's doing more of this private ledger stuff than Ripple? I don't know. Is there someone else doing it? Like, give me a break, guy. What are you talking about, bro? That's why Hugo didn't respond, because it's nonsensical. This dude, it's nonsensical. Sensical. Take a listen here. We're going to listen to the whole video here, but I want you guys to take a listen here from Dinesh from Flare, talking about the TEEs and all that kind of stuff. It says, why trusted execution environments over ZKPs, which are zero knowledge proofs? I guess what that means. Most use zero knowledge proofs for lightweight, non-confidential proofs. It's great for simple use cases, but trusted execution environments, confidential and verifiable, built for big use cases, private ML, machine learning, cross-chain infra, like protocol managed wallets. TEEs are greater, or whatever you're hyping on right now. It's greater than whatever you're hyping right now. What networks? All right, take a listen to Dinesh here.
So this is actually quite a deep question, but I'll try and keep it as brief as possible. So one thing I really need to clarify here is that when most people say zero knowledge proofs, they're not actually confidential. So your data is not protected in that particular case. The code is not protected in that particular case. They're using ZKPs for something known as succinctness, like to generate effectively smaller proofs. And that's what you see, for example, on Ethereum L2s, which use ZKPs, which are posted on Ethereum L1. What TEs give you is effectively isolation, confidentiality, and verifiability. And they do this without sacrificing the scaling of the system. Like, for example, if I wanted to run some private ML inference on a ZKP, that's basically not possible. I would have to create a ZK circuit with perhaps 1 million nodes in it. And there's some complex synchrony assumptions involved as well. And it's basically just impossible. So ZK can be used, but for very simple use cases. With TEs, because they're sort of inherently scalable, you can actually, the design space for what kinds of applications you can build is significantly larger. And in terms of like performance, you're talking about a difference of somewhere between 1,000x faster to 10,000x faster between TEs and ZKPs.
What? You said 1,000 to 10,000x faster? I'm gonna buy some more FLR tokens right now while we're on this stream. I said it once before, I'll say it again. It feels like to me that Flare Networks is what Ethereum was meant to be. Or let's put it just, Flare Networks is becoming that thing that Ethereum was meant to be. Ethereum took the shortcut. Listen to the people in their air saying, just get that thing out. Let's get this thing out. Greed. That's what it feels like. It's no fault to the developers, and that let's get a thing out, let's get it out. That's leadership. That's Vitalik. That's Lubin. That's perhaps the foundation. Promising the devs that obviously they're going to win, right? Because they get these early tokens for less than a penny or whatever they got them for. Sure, they're going to win financially, but the vision has not been realized, and it's in a state of flux right now. The Ethereum blockchain is, in fact, in a state of flux. They don't know where they're going, where they're headed. Rudderless at the moment. Relentless motion says hi. What's going on? Relentless Motion, how are you, my friend? Where are you checking in from? Relentless Motion. Rafi is in the building. What's good? Flare, question mark. Am I holding gold? Are we, like, if you're really in the know and paying attention to what they're building out, that's the vibe I'm getting, Alex. I'm getting the vibe that Flare Networks is becoming what Ethereum and the promise of Ethereum was meant to be. This is what I'm feeling. In my gut, this is what I'm feeling. In my gut, another thing that I'm feeling, Alex, this is just me personally. Please, no one go out and buy FLR tokens. Don't do it because I'm talking about FLR tokens. Please don't do that. But for me, it feels like didn't get that Bitcoin thing, wasn't early enough. I mean, all things considered, I was early. I mean, it was $400 to $600. Okay, so don't get me wrong. Okay, don't get me wrong. 2016, late 2016, early 2017, 2016. So don't get me wrong about that. But $600 is not $8. It's not $8. It's not $4. Right? So missed Bitcoin early, sort of. Certainly not Ethereum. Never. Well, I mean, how do I say this? I was there. I didn't understand. I was there. I was doing crazy stuff with my Ethereum. Okay, I was there. Didn't understand. Missed it. And I feel like it missed it in that I was selling a lot of the ETH, getting into these high yield investment platforms for crazy tokens. Yeah. So, and I feel like this is that other shot. I don't know. Please, again, do not go buy FLR tokens because I'm talking here on YouTube. But I get the sense. That the Flare Network, the team, the foundation, it's a layer one EVM. It's a layer one EVM. And I just feel like I just get this sense that this is that one, that promise. I don't know. I just get it. And it's a penny. Ethereum's promise, no matter how many developers, no matter the TVL, it's killing the game in TVL. Its promise has not been realized. It's in a state of flux. And we just can't merely look at the price. We can't just merely look at the price. Hold on one second. So, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Look, it's just my gut thing. I'm not saying nothing. And I look at what Flare Networks is trying to build out, and are building out. They have cleverly looked at the market and said, this is working and this is not working. They have cleverly looked at find a need, right? In business, we used to say this all the time, right? When I was running around. Find a need, right? Find a need and fill it. Another thing we used to say is find out where everyone else is going and get there first. Flare has, the data protocol thing is it's a very blue ocean thing. You understand? It's not a lot of people. And you know, and no one, in fact, is down in this water of decentralized data. So they have a interesting approach, very, very interesting approach in what they're doing. And they have somehow managed to just ignore the voice, right? Right over here, you got one person over here wondering, hey, just put this thing out, man. I mean, just put this thing out. We got tons of tokens. Do you realize the gains? Just put it out. Just push all the parts of this blockchain out. Just get it out there. Just get it out. I just feel like they just have been able to just ignore that. You know what I'm saying? And the more and more I hear them talking about what they're doing, they just have a long-term vision and are not interested in the quick gain, in the quick money grab. You know what I mean? They want to do it, and they want to do it right. And it's for the greater good of the ecosystem. Again, speaking to true decentralization, like what's going on in crypto is people have they've watered down that decentralization in order to get a product out. Let's just get products out and create exposure with different products. And it doesn't really need to be decentralized. Does it really need? There's no such thing as true decentralization. That kind of talk. So I just feel like Hugo and the team over there have just kind of looked at what's worked, what's not working, what's missing. Can we build what's missing? And how we build what's missing is everything. How we build what is missing in the digital asset space is everything. Like how we go about building it is everything. We're not going to take the shortcuts. We're not going to do just another version of the same thing everyone is doing, right? We're going to stick in a lane. We're going to carve out our own niche and then expand on that. That's what it feels like to me. Rick Cisneros is in the building. What's going on, bro? CJ, I 100% agree. Agree. You agree with you. I went all in on Flare. Their vision and their focus in the right direction. The key word is focus, and not letting the Flare network and not letting the Flare network not be distracted. Yeah, taking shortcuts, dealing with distractions. And I think the genius is staying focused on what really matters, because a lot of times projects can get swayed by its community to take the shortcut. Just give us something to listen to the noise of yet another delay. Remember all the people with the yet another delay, yet another delay. Why are those people complaining about that? Because the only interest is when number go up. That's the only interest. So anyhow, what's going on, Vishal? The Keyless is here. The lady of crypto is in the building. How are you, miss? Hope you're well. All right, so I shared that from Dinesh. That's interesting what Dinesh had to say there. So let me see. Should I cover another thing on X first? This is an interesting post from GC. Investing in Flare networks isn't about chasing hype. It's about conviction. While others sprint after noise, I'm calmly sitting back, beer in hand, waiting for the trigger to unleash what most never took time to understand. Watching crypto experts talk about FLR without doing their homework. He says, delicious. The lion doesn't turn when the small dog barks. That's a good one. We used to say all the time when we were running around doing marketing, you know, a dog doesn't bark at a parked car. Good stuff there, JC. Good stuff. I like that one. Yeah, I did that. Keep that one as well. Yeah, we got it. GC has been putting out some interesting stuff there lately. That's one for Patreon. That's for the Patreon. I don't know, man. Flare Forward. I feel like I need to get on with Flare Forward. Steve, if you're listening, well, 589, if you're listening, I need to just hop on the Zoom. I need to take a couple $100 and figure out this cycle thing because I don't understand it. I don't understand the cycle of finance, man. I just need to. It's like I'll even do $100. Just I'm trying so I can wrap my brain around the thinking behind it because there's a big value add here if you understand it, but I don't understand it. Yo, Cycle Finance got us hype. These are the team over at Flare Forward. That's Steve, Ace, and Well 589. Well 589's like Cyclo wrapped ETH at 0.83. Guess what I did? Maxed leveraged on kinetic markets, flipped it to ETH, stashed it at Cyclo, and paid the loan. Now chilling with $500 in ETH, waiting for ETH to pop and Cycle ETH to dip. Who's playing this game? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So hopefully we can get them on some kind of video, Zoom or something. I'm like, dude, there's a strategy there. There's a tactic, a strategy there. I don't quite understand it. But when I do get it, I'm going to let you guys know for sure. All right. Let's go to this video here. Let's go to minute 20. Again, it's an hour and 14 minutes long, 32 minutes in, but it was Whale 589 asked about DeFi, and Thanos answered. He's the DeFi lead at Flare. So let's go to minute 20. Let's go to minute 20. All right, so there's still Thanos is talking. Let's get Flare Forward's question. Yeah, there it is. This is from Whale 589 asking about DeFi. So let me share screen here.
Yeah, for sure. So I think a really good way about thinking about DeFi is taking a look at other ecosystems and understanding fundamentally how specific dApps rely on other dApps. And looking at the evolution of other DeFi ecosystems generally gives you what a roadmap for building out DeFi on Flare looked like for us. And so if you look at Ethereum, one of the first major breakthrough dApps was Uniswap, right? That was the Uniswap V1, like the full range of liquidity that you would add. Then it slowly progressed to V3 with concentrated liquidity, and then now V4 with like hooks and like the Uniswap chain coming out. And so DEXs specifically are essentially the foundational piece of any single DeFi ecosystem. So when I came on board, I spoke to Enosis, I spoke to BlazeSwap, thought about how we wanted to scale, and then also brought in SparkDEX there as well to help just to help the DEX ecosystem more broadly on Flare today. So generally, we started with the DEX. That's how most ecosystems start. They have their core DEX that is the liquidity hub of almost all trading. From there, you can then build lending protocols on top of that. those lending protocols specifically for us has been Kinetic. Need a DEX beneath it with enough liquidity to ensure that users can exit position safely and that the liquidator can exit position safely. So Kinetic then was added on top, and then we've introduced perps, and now that we have lending, borrowing, we have the DEX beneath it, and we now have perps. We can now start looking towards more esoteric builds. If you look at crypto as a whole this year, I think there's been a few breakthrough dApps, or I wouldn't say dApps, but use cases of finance and specifically this year. Pendle was one of them. So the ability to split your YT and PT token, so your yield token and your principal token, which I find generally pretty interesting. And I would say these yield-bearing stablecoins, so like RWAs, like Athena, were very popular amongst TradFi. So these are two things that we've mostly been looking at, thinking about how we want to grow our ecosystem, and mostly trying to align what the future of Flare is going to look like as for how we want to grow our DeFi ecosystem. And we want to ensure that product launches have the ability for institutions to come use Flare and have a seamless experience when doing that. And a lot of that is done by understanding what types of dApps, what types of trades that they'll put on, and ensuring that they have the right rails for that.
Awesome. So how do you choose projects to work with? Like, what's your process to say, we'll go with this guys instead of this other project?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think with any partnership, you have to obviously consider like previous experience, where they're currently building or where they've previously built, what their reputation is like in the space, how they treat their users, what their approach to growth looks like, and then convincing them on the future of Flare, right? Ultimately, we want builders that are interested in the products that we are building and want to work with us, and are interested in Flare's long-term growth. And to me, that's kind of the most important part. Yeah, I can go get the largest DEX, or let's say like a major DEX, but if they don't care about Flare, they're just not going to be very responsive and don't care about building custom solutions for things that we want.
Of course. So how will Flare 2.0 influence the future of DeFi?
Yeah, so I think there's a world of possibilities that we've been thinking about for Flare 2.0. I think that we at Flare are going to be able to do cross-chain stuff seamlessly. And how I think about that is that dApps specifically on Flare can access, let's say, liquidity across a bunch of different other chains. Or we have, let's say, these custom built dApps that essentially allow people to access liquidity on other chains and then also participate on Flare as well. And so Flare 2.0, I think, just in its current state, unleashes just an unbelievable amount of possibilities and composability across many different chains, which all can aggregate value back to Flare.
Awesome. So Hugo, this is for Hugo. What new do you?
So that was I think profound, for me, inspiring message from Thanos. Their approach to DeFi, I think, is hugely important. I know for certain, I feel for certain that, I feel certain that Flare Networks has some institutions in the background just waiting for some stuff in conversations with them. And I think what most of crypto has missed is that there are a number of institutions that are interested in the true crypto ethos, which is true decentralization, true security, and true scalability. And that most of TradFi and slant institutions know that crypto is still missing a bunch of stuff that they can do in traditional finance. Crypto is still missing that. The difference, what we're going to be able to do with crypto and take what's being able to be done in TradFi is be able to do it in a decentralized manner, in a transparent manner that doesn't rob from retail or use retail as liquidity, that can create a level playing field. Pookie's in the building. What's going on, my friend? What up, everyone? What up, CJ? Life is great, brother. How are you? So, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button on the way in. That'd be really, really cool. If you didn't get a chance to do so yet, no worries. Just collapse the chat real quick. Go smash that like and come back and hang out with Crypto Siege. And bam, Crypto Siege and family. So, next question is for Hugo. And this is very, very interesting, this next question. You're going to really gonna like it. But I like what Thanos is talking about with DeFi and moving forward. Yeah. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. For me and my investment strategy, the FLR token is still in the 10% bag. But boy, I just got to tell you, I'm getting more FLR tokens today. I'm going to do it on a live stream. Go to my trusted exchange and just get more so I can wrap it. And because January will be here before you know it, Keyless. January 2026 will be here before you know it. Got a few months left of these flare drops. And I think what I'm going to do as well is I'm just going to add to liquidity pair and Spark Dex. And I don't know. I feel like I have to set 3 alarms for when the cap gets lifted or raised on Kinetic. Hey, Kinetic, man, can we figure something else out, man? Can we figure something out? Because this announcement of the cap raise or, it's gone in 30 seconds, man. It's gone like 30 seconds. You can't deposit something and borrow some stables, man. This is what I want to do. I want to borrow some stables over there in Kinetic, and the cap limit just gets reached so fast. Can we come up with something else, man? I don't know. Do like a lottery or something. I don't know. Just something, man. Because someone is, I don't know. Just got to figure out a way to broaden the accessibility of that cap rate for borrowing stables. They got to figure out something. Got to figure out something. Hope everyone did that. Keela says, yeah, 2026 is right around the corner. Spring, we're in spring already. Hope everyone did their taxes. Yeah. I've actually, Vishal says, would you get Songbird too? I actually have, I took a gamble on Songbird more so than FLR. So I actually have more. I took a bet on something and didn't work. So I actually have more Songbird than FLR for sure. All right, let's take a listen to Hugo again here.
DeFi use cases do you see emerging, and do you see any bigger than F assets?
Interesting question. So what new DeFi use cases do I see emerging? First of all, we are going very heavily into XRP. We're starting with staking. Obviously, we're starting with F assets, but the principal product, it's going to be staking. And then obviously you've got, when you have staked XRP, you have liquid staked XRP. And I suspect there's going to be a very healthy market between XRP and liquid staked XRP, DEXs, borrowing, those kind of markets. So that's the first thing that Flare 2.0 is going to enable. And I think, maybe that can be replicated for Bitcoin as well on Flare. I think that's an interesting possibility. But we're starting with XRP. That's our market. That's what we know. And, as we prove that product,
we'll think about adding more products to that, things like Bitcoin. I think this level of composability, this level of being able to control positions on other chains from a protocol on Flare is huge. It opens up really sizable things that you can do. I don't want to get the cart before the horse, but there are lots of things I've been thinking about. There are an awful lot of things that just don't exist in crypto, but should. Yesterday, Ripple bought a prime broker. I'm tracked by prime broker. One of the things that prime brokers do is they lend against positions that people have in the traditional markets. And you may have a large equity position. You may wish to take another position, and you go to your prime broker and you say, I want some margin against my equity position. Let's say your equity is Tesla, although that's probably a bad example at the moment. You might have been liquidated. But let's say you've got a large equity position. You need to have some cash to do something else. Go to your prime broker. They'll lend you money against the position you have, and they'll liquidate you if it goes below their threshold. Now that exists to an extent in DeFi. It only exists really within protocols. It doesn't exist between protocols, and it doesn't exist between chains. I can't have a position on one steps on one chain and leverage the equity in that position to take a position in another steps on another chain. That's hugely inefficient. It means that capital in crypto is being used in a really inefficient manner, because I can't rehypothecate the value over here to somewhere over here. And in TradFi, I can. And aren't we meant to be more efficient in crypto? Aren't these meant to be better rails? But they're not. And so, what I think one of the first things I find really interesting about what we're building with protocol managed wallets is suddenly you can have a protocol that can control a position in multiple DeFi protocols on multiple chains. Suddenly, you can
think about that. You can have with the protocol managed wallets, you can have transactions done on multiple protocols on multiple chains. Like a lot of people are missing the way that XRP is going to be able to be staked is because of the protocol managed wallet. It's actually an XRP address on the XRPL. It's a wallet. It has an XRPL address. Yeah. So that concept, remember, we don't have it yet, that ability to be on a chain in a protocol or dApp and be able to take what we got there, if you will, without having to do bridging and all that other stuff, and be able to take the value in a position on Ethereum and take it to Avalanche or to Berachain or to Atom, Cosmos, Babylon protocol. We don't have that yet. So that's a very interesting promise. And remember the video that I just played for you of Dinesh talking about these TEEs and how significantly more scalable and more, what's the word? It starts with a P, more potent a TEE is as compared to zero knowledge proofs. And everyone thinks the ZK and the zero knowledge proofs, it's just the bee's knees. But it turns out the TEEs are at another level as compared to zero knowledge proofs. Kind of a big deal.
lend against that set of positions that are held by that protocol that exists on Twitter. Suddenly, you can make crypto far more efficient. It can catch up with TradFi. And that's something that's interesting to me. So that's probably the biggest thing I'm trying to get built using protocol managed wallets, with the exception of FSets and XRP staking.
Amazing. Yeah, that's incredible. I know that fragmented liquidity is a problem in crypto in general. So,
I mean, this isn't fragmented liquidity, just fragmented liquidity. This is a non-efficient use of existing assets. It's different to fragmented liquidity. This is like not being able to take a mortgage out on your house.
Okay.
Imagine the global housing market where you can't take a mortgage out on a house.
Yeah. Not too many people would have homes.
Far less efficient.
Oh, that's good to know. So you have talked about institutions constantly. What does institutional ready mean to you?
It means that we have the protocols that they're going to want to use. It means that we have data that they're going to want to use. We're working with a number of entities at the moment around some specific things that they need with regards to, they want to build a system that allows assets to be transferred at a certain point in time once some certain verification has happened. And that verification is real world verification. And it's real world verification by entities that are not in crypto. They're entities that are practically not in the internet age. An awful lot of industries in the world still just give you a PDF when they certify something. Give you a good example. Let's say you've got 500 tons of coal. Coal has 20 different grades. It can also get wet. And suddenly your 500 tons of coal, if you dry it off, is actually only 300 tons of coal because it's carrying a large amount of water. And so in the process of these kind of trades, that along the way, there are many certification points. The problem is, we would like to be able to get these trades on chain. We would like to be able to allow individuals to lend their money to finance these trades, but we don't have the data. And so those certification bodies that I was talking about, today they just give you a PDF. The hell do I do with a PDF with a blockchain? Very, very hard. So straddling those problems is the really interesting part of our work that we are figuring out in conjunction with our protocols, the FTC and AI. This AI can read the PDF.
That's amazing. Tano, so is there any alpha about upcoming DeFi apps or partnerships that you can share with us?
Yeah, it's funny that you ask. I can't share just yet. But I think we have some pretty exciting stuff coming to market, I would say within the next month or so, that will make the retail user experience a lot easier, the institutional user experience a lot easier.
Let me give you an example of what I think he might be talking about. Maybe it's just maybe it's one of many, or maybe one of a couple that they may be talking about. I discovered this project here at, it's just 2 DeFi. TradFi equals greater than DeFi. I don't know. Chat with our AI assistant to seamlessly create a personalized, decentralized finance strategy that matches your traditional investment style. This is what DeFi AI was supposed to be doing. It hasn't been realized yet, but this was supposed to be the promise. I invested in a couple of projects that, was going to do this, but it has not come to fruition yet. and it's giving an example. Hi there, I'm your DeFi assistant. I love to learn more about your investing background. What broker do you use? I use Robinhood. I want to explore DeFi investing options. Great. I see you've uploaded your Robinhood portfolio. You have a good mix of stocks, ETFs. Let me analyze your DeFi opportunities. Based on your moderate risk profile, I recommend the following. Okay, then it's got an execution. Stake FLR 30%, swap to FLX 25%, hold FLR 25%, liquidity 20%, 50 and 50. Strategy fully executed. This, I found out about this particular project from Flare Networks. They went through a Gnosis and SparkDex and Blaze and Kinetic and whatever. And then they just kind of subtly put this project in here, right? To just kind of subtly put this in. This is how I found out about them, okay? Let me see if I can't find a post. I'm like, I never heard of this project. Let's see. Oh, Santiago is on this as well. Interesting. From XDeFi protocol. Okay. That's good to know. That's the perps, the futures, and all that stuff. I don't know how to do them. Let me see if I can't find this. It came from Flare, right? Yeah, it is right here. The XRP ecosystem is heating up fast. Legal clarity in the U.S. under consideration for crypto reserve. United States Crypto Reserve. Coinbase applying for CFTC regulated XRP futures. Ripple acquires Hidden Road, a $3 trillion a year prime broker. Migrating post-trade ops to the XRPL. Eyeing Ripple dollar stablecoin as collateral. Flare is already building on this momentum. Bootstrapping utility, not just hope. With F assets, XRP becomes composable, alive inside a powerful on-chain finance stack. So they got trade and swap with Blaze Swap and Gnosis Global, right? Recursive borrowing and lending with Kinetic Markets. AMM and Purse with SparkDex AI. Liquid staking with Scepter, right? And then he's just threw in this thing here, this AI-driven strategies at 2 DeFi. That's where I would just share with you guys. Never heard of them. Never, first time I've seen this. So I joined the wait list to see what's good. You can hit there and join a wait list if you're interested in doing that. 2D.fi. www.2, the number 2, DE.fi, all lowercase. So, yeah, but I had never heard of them. Maybe this is one of the projects that Thanos is talking about.
And we're going to be running programs for people to participate within our DeFi ecosystem that will have some of the best yields around for people that want to participate. So I can't necessarily hard launch a partnership right now, but I would say stay tuned, and I think people will be genuinely pretty surprised as to what we have coming to market over the next couple months outside of just our regular product stuff that we've been talking about here.
Awesome. Can't wait. Ace, should we shift to protocol managed wallets?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and dive a little deeper into that topic. So, Philippe, if you don't mind, man, how do PMWs affect security and the overall user experience? The idea of not bridging or not having to traditionally bridge an asset is kind of foreign to people. So, would you mind giving us some color around that?
Yeah, so like Hugo already said, the main idea of protocol managed wallet is for a smart contract on Flare to be able to directly interact with some other chain, which up until now you had to do using bridge, which means that you need to have a bunch of liquidity on both sides. There's a bridging risk, you have to wait. Don't even get me started on the user experience on what going through multiple bridge hoops would look like. And I mean, we have bridge aggregators just because of this, because bridges as such can get problematic. So with protocol managed wallet, what we offer, what the main point is that we have a set of TEs controlling a wallet, a perfectly normal and you owned account on another chain. And we specifically initially focused on chains that do not support smart contracts, specifically XRPL and Bitcoin, which allows you to initiate a transaction on Bitcoin directly from Flare's smart contract. So you issue an event, this gets picked by the Flare system protocol, so by the all validators, and then they relay this message to this multi-sig that is controlling the wallet on the other side, and it's application specific, and you can execute any transaction you want without having to worry about all these things. Is there somebody bridging in between and so on? And then you have a nice wallet that's fully abstracted away for the app developer, and for a user, it's pretty much an immediate execution on the other side. So the experience is that as soon as I operate on Flare, as soon as I do something on Flare, boom, I can withdraw Bitcoins by just creating a simple Flare transaction, and that gets picked up. And this is pretty much the first step toward the full chain abstraction. So a wallet controlling Bitcoin, a wallet controlling some address on XRPL, specifically for F assets. And then you can have a wallet on a EVM chain when you can execute some additional stuff, and this ties nicely into this cross-chain lending. So the ability to have a protocol own stuff across different chains, but still know that this is specifically tied to you. And as always, the security is paramount. So we designed this so that each wallet is independent, depends on a specific protocol, so you can steal from another one, and then you can obviously configure the sizes, you can obviously configure some additional parameters that get checked. But importantly, the wallets themselves are really, really light. So there's no RPC inside them. We make them as light as possible so that all the security assumptions that are inside that piece of code are really minimized to pretty much just signing a transaction. That's the main idea, as in being able to abstract away a fully foreign chain by just saying, okay, create this transaction, give it a parameter on which chain to operate, and that's it. Everything else is handled by us.
Yeah, this is that kind of promise of DeFi. Obviously they got the verifiable and they got the AI hackathon, and all of those things are going to tie in my view, to these protocol managed wallets, in my view. It's never been done before, and it looks to me like they figured out a way. Flare Networks has figured out a way to make that happen for us. So we'll see. Rick says, CJ, imagine FLR working with Hidden Roads. Imagine Flare working with Hidden Roads and all of their institutional clients, DeFi, without ever losing your bags, and they never give up custody. Here's where institutional DeFi starts. Yeah, true. Yeah. Because if we're able to operate in a true decentralized, never losing custody type situation, not having to be dependent upon some intermediary of an institution, I think that's important. I think that's massively important. All right. So bring what you got, a Hidden Road, but I'm not trying to give you or turn over my custody to you, right? Because now I'm susceptible to traditional financial laws like bankruptcy, et cetera, et cetera. Not trying to do that, right? And so Flare understands that, and Flare gets that, right? And so I think that's massively, massively important that Flare is sticking to that true crypto ethos of true decentralization, security, and scalability. So really, really excited about this promise. That part there from Philippe is interesting. I don't know if you guys had a chance to listen to this interview, but yeah, I got to tell you, it's really, really good. I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to leave the link here for you guys to get this video, and so you can check it out for sure. And oh, by the way, just to let you know, the old money doesn't want you to move, want you to win gear is here, my friends. It is here, Pookie. Here's the video. Yeah, it's here. It is here. It's here. That, I'm telling you, take the time. I encourage you to take the time to level up your knowledge, right? de-risk yourself by leveling up your knowledge and learning more about what Flare is building out. But yeah, here's the old money thing here I want to share with you guys. It's all out, Keyless. It is all out. Got some unisex stuff as well. Old money doesn't want you to wear. Old money doesn't want you to win gear. They got the one with my crypto siege on here. I'm not sure if you want that, but or not. But here's an example of. We also have the gear without the crypto siege on it as well. So this hat is interesting to me. That's the only hat we were able to. The designer was able to use. But let me show you some example of the just a regular old T-shirt. I like this particular material here, this premium ring spun cotton T-shirt. I like it. So this is in black, right? Got all the sizes that you'll need. This is red. I think this red is smoking. Really like this red one. I really like the red. I think that's pretty cool. This color here is heavy metal. That's an interesting look right there, right? You could jazz that up really, really nice. That to me gives what is it? Casual. What's the term? It's kind of casual, but not dressy. Kind of, yeah. Yeah, I think it may be athletic leisure or something like that. So that heavy metal colors, that's smoking right there as well. And this is the one that I kind of envisioned. This color here, this military green. This is the one I really kind of envisioned with the camo. This is kind of, whether it be the hat, I don't know, the jacket, somewhere along those lines, I could see the camo, especially people into the camo who are into digital asset space, love XRP, FLR, Bitcoin, love crypto, and they love camo. Yeah, that's the one right there. And then there's this dark chocolate as well. So there it is there. Let me, I love it. Absolutely love it. Put the link for this. I think it's in the description of the video as well. But if you want to grab that, yeah. So yeah, love the red. I'm going to get the red. I get the black initially, but I'm going to get the, I like that red, man. That red is smoking for sure. So there it is, family. Let me put this in the chat here for you guys. And let me know if there's any issues or other colors that you would like to see here as well. Please let me know. But there it is. It is definitely, the gear is definitely there. The gear is, there it is. It's finally available. Finally got everything figured out. So appreciate you guys. This is one great way to support the channel. SoFlow Digital, thank you for hanging out today, my friend. Brother Crypto, Relentless Motion. And for me, again, this old money doesn't want you to win thing is for me, it's like it's a movement in that we know what has been done. We know the wrongs. We know what old money set out to do with the Federal Reserve Act and the central banking system. We are aware of it, but we are aware of it, but we have a better way. We have a way out of that. And that is the digital asset space. That's what old money doesn't want you to win is all about, right? Because we say on the channel, old money doesn't want you to win, but that's okay though, because we're already winning. We are already winning. So Relentless Motion and Rafi, Alex G, appreciate you guys checking in. My guy Rick, I will hook up with you for sure later this week, probably. Bashao and Keyless, Pookie, appreciate you guys being here as always. It was a really nice hang. And shout out to Flare Forward for not only doing an interview, putting it out, asking some awesome questions. Appreciate you guys big time. All right, fam, listen. I'm going to hop off here. Do me a favor. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, no worries. Just do so on the way out. That'd be really, really cool. And if you happen to be in that 55% or so of people that are hanging out, listening to, and watching the Crypto Siege, do me a favor. If you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're about 28, less than 30 away from getting to 9,000. And I know we can get there. Less than 30 subs from reaching 9,000. And I know we can get there, especially with your help. We appreciate that big time. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, baby, so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. Oh, do me a favor. Let me know if, do you think it's a good idea to put the whole old money doesn't want you to win outro on a t-shirt? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. The whole thing, put that whole outro out on a t-shirt. Maybe with the right type of lettering, wording, whatever. It might be a good look. It can be almost like a like a constitution thing. Yeah, maybe get it scripted out in a certain way instead of just cutting off. Oh, money doesn't want you to win. Just go through the whole outro. That might be a good look. We'll think about that. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. All right, fam. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.